flying under the radar was my safety net. Let's just put it that way.
Like not being seen.
Like not being seen. For me, it was like the willingness to step out from behind the business that has really been challenging for me. I feel very comfortable behind the scenes. I feel very safe behind the sines. We all know you don't grow in comfort, right? So for me, my biggest challenge, I think, in all of this is really being on camera more, telling my story more, talking about my history more, bringing up my past so people understand kind of who I am and what my journey has been. But there is this really unfamiliar and uncomfortable feeling that I've been experiencing for a while now as we're making this transition, from basically you being 100% in front of the camera to both of us and our team being in front of the camera. And for me, I think it's just a willingness to be vulnerable.
Yeah, I agree. It's a long time getting here. I mean, this year will be 24 years. That the company has been around. It started in October of 99.
Yeah, you're an OG.
Yeah. And I mean, and my study in mentorship goes back to 93. So it's been a long journey, but an interesting thing within that journey it's been a very big challenge for me, was that I had 2 relationships and raised 4 children during that period of time. There were limits to what I could do with the business because of the dysfunction of the relationships that I was in, and because of the amount of time that was an important value for me to spend with my kids, especially after my first relationship dissolved when I got divorced. I wanted to make sure that I was equally involved in the raising of our children. It created a difficulty. There were many things that I had to say no to because it just was not going to work within the situations that I was in. And then I think that through the process of learning and adjusting and adapting to my responsibility within those relationships and my own dysfunction in those relationships, and coming out of that, it allowed the company to expand more holistically. It allowed each one of us to take on a role and address things that we hadn't been addressing because we were just trying to get through instead of just, be more holistic about it. There were certain goals that I was trying to reach, that you were trying to reach. At least for me, it's been a process of I can't change everything at the same time. So I've chosen certain things that I want to work on about myself that requires a specific amount of attention. I can't change everything at the same time. I fail when I do. I can't keep my word to myself. So it's been I'm picking certain goals, certain battles to actually move through and do them one at a time in order to be able to reach the goal that I've had, this vision that I've had. And this stage in what we're doing now, where we're bringing everybody in, you and I are co-teaching, we're both bringing in the expertise. When you think about the amount of multi-million-dollar businesses that we've coached and the different ways in which we coach and the different teachings that we bring in, our own growth has allowed us to come to this culmination of this point where there's going to be a rapid expansion in the way that we're doing things, because we're now ready to step up to different levels of ourselves, I think.
Yeah, you've built yourself to a point where you can do the things that you really want to do.
Yes,
let's be honest.
Yes, I have.
When you're trying to manage a relationship and also take risk in a business, that creates quite a bit of friction, right? I'm sure almost every single one of our students can relate to that, right? How can I grow my business, take risks, do the things necessary, and still not rock the boat too much to make my significant other too uncomfortable, where it creates this nightmare at home, right? And now you're at a place where...
Yeah, because you have a responsibility there, right? So it's kind of like you could say what you want, but if you're going to try to maintain a relationship or work through it, there has to be some give and take as you actually go through that, right? I am in a place right now, a very happy place where I can basically do whatever I want. And we've created the business in a way where that also supports me to be able to do what I want. So I've got the best of both worlds. But the truth is, it took a long time to get here. And I'm not complaining. I mean, the whole thing has been a fantastic journey. But there have been places where the learning process got slowed way down because the focus was in other areas.
One of the core values that we all subscribe to here is bettering our best. And I think you and I have been working really hard at bettering our best. And this is what that looks like, right? We're bettering our best in terms of who we're being in our own lives, and we're bettering our best in terms of what we're providing to our clients, more of a full service rather than just focusing on one aspect. And we can do that now because you and I have both stepped through a hell of a lot of fear. Right? A hell of a lot of discomfort, made some really tough decisions. And now we're poised to be able to help our business owners do that same thing. We have the life experience that it takes to take someone over the finish line and then beyond.
Yeah, absolutely.